Thanks for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Ephraim Graham. Aloha. President Donald Trump is in Hawaii today. It is the first stop ahead of his five-nation Asia trip. The president wants to advance American trade interests in the Asia-Pacific, but North Korea's nuclear missile program will dominate discussions. And once again, he'll be turning to China for help. Our Gary Lane is here and on that story.
Donald Trump is embarking on the longest trip of his presidency so far. His first stop is Japan, where he's expected to play a round of golf with Prime Minister Abe. More than missed putts will be discussed with the Japanese and others during his trip. The missed opportunities of previous presidents to rein in a defiant North Korea and what to do now will top the American agenda. Kim Jong-un is steadily moving forward with nuclear missile development. He's threatened to attack the United States. President Trump is determined to shore up an Asia-Pacific alliance to stop him.
On a scale of 1 to 10, we're at 9. This is very serious at this moment because the North Korean leader seems hell-bent on being able to threaten the United States with a nuclear missile. We have no other power in the world that has that capability other than members of the Perm 5, who we all have agreements with on detargeting. This is not an agreement on detargeting. He actually wants to target the United States.
And President Trump has already responded with a stern warning.
North Korea best not make any more threats to the United States. They will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen.
While the president's words may be a bit harsh for diplomat Christopher Hill, he says Trump's efforts to enlist Chinese help in stopping Un is the correct course of action.
We cannot be indifferent to a country pointing nuclear weapons at us. If China were in our position, they would not be indifferent either.
The president makes a quick stop to visit American troops in South Korea before heading to meetings with Chinese President Xi in Beijing. Then it's on to Vietnam for the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation meeting, where he'll discuss free, fair, and open trade. The president wraps up his trip in the Philippines, where he'll meet with controversial Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte, who's been accused of human rights abuses in the country's war on drugs. The top subject in those talks will be combined efforts to fight Islamic terrorism in the region. Gary Lane, CBN News.
Republicans have unveiled their long-awaited tax plan. House members are now trying to decipher what's inside the bill and to fight for what they'd like to see added. Abigail Robertson brings us more now. She's in Washington.
Debate is underway for what House Republicans call the largest tax overhaul since the Reagan Revolution.
This is a complete redesign of the code so we can simplify it so much that 9 out of 10 Americans can file using a postcard style system.
House Speaker Paul Ryan calls the bill a pro-growth, pro-family plan.
With this plan, the typical family of 4 will save $1,182 a year on their taxes.
And President Trump praised the bill, called the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act.
I really believe we'll have it done before Christmas. I consider that to be one of the great Christmas presents. And not just the reform and not just the tax cuts, but we will be creating jobs like you have rarely seen.
The plan expands the standard deduction to $12,000 for individuals and $24,000 for couples. It takes the child tax credit from $1,000 to $1,600 per child, and it cuts the corporate tax rate from 35% to 20% in hopes of strengthening the economy and adding more and better jobs to the U.S.
We've got to modernize our tax code so that we can be competitive again, so that we can keep jobs in this country, so we can keep businesses in this country.
Republicans say a middle-income family of 4 could save $1,182 a year. The plan sets 4 tax rates, 12, 25, 35%, and it keeps the highest individual tax bracket at 39.6%. Republican Congressman Mark Walker tells CBN News that his initial reactions to the bill are very positive, but he does have a few concerns he'd like to see addressed, like adding a provision for some people to itemize their charitable contributions.
We've been pushing for what we call the Universal Charitable Giving Act. That allows people making less than $200,000 who don't itemize to continue to get deductions for charitable giving. As a former pastor, that's very important to me for people who give to their local ministries, local churches, local shelters.
The bill also touches on a repeal of the Johnson Amendment, which forbids 501c3 nonprofit organizations from supporting or opposing political candidates. But the bill's language is ambiguous and only protects sermons given in churches and doesn't provide any protections for other religious organizations. Still, like other parts of the plan, the language on the Johnson Amendment will be negotiated in the days ahead.
I think over the next couple of weeks, that's going to be one of the battles that's fought in the trenches.
CBN News spoke with several Republicans who said it's a step in the right direction, and they hope by the end of the process to include a more clear repeal. Chairman Kevin Brady tells me we need to protect our faith leaders from the government, not the other way around. He also doesn't want the IRS looming over churches for expressing their religious liberty. Reporting from Capitol Hill, Abigail Robertson, CBN News.
Thank you, Abigail. The Israeli city of Beersheva is marking the 100th anniversary of an epic World War I battle that gave Great Britain control of the city. It is important because that victory helped set the stage for the reestablishment of the Jewish state. Here's Chris Mitchell now with more.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu welcomed the Australian Prime Minister and New Zealand Governor to commemorate the victory of British, Australian, and New Zealand soldiers and the Light Horse Regiment a century ago.
Nearly 4,000 years ago, Abraham came to Beersheva, the city of seven wells. Exactly 100 years ago, brave Anzac soldiers liberated Beersheva for the sons and daughters of Abraham and opened the gateway for the Jewish people to re-enter the stage of history.
And they spurred their horses through that fire, those mad Australians, through that fire, and took the town of Beersheva, secured the victory that did not create the state of Israel, but enabled its creation.
The Battle for Beersheva was a turning point in the British conquest of the Middle East. That enabled British General Allenby to walk through the Jaffa Gate here less than 3 months later, on December 11, 1917, as the victor in the Battle for Jerusalem. Allenby, the first Christian conqueror in centuries, entered the gate on foot out of respect for the Holy City. Australian light horsemen made that possible.
The charge of the Australian Light Horse was significant because they were never trained to do this. They were what we call mounted infantry. They go up to the front line on horse, get off and go in as infantry. So this was something completely new. They'd never trained for it. And so upwards of 600 of these men, they just were given the order and they did it.
Australian author Calvin Crombie teamed up with the director of the Australian Light Horse Association, Barry Waters, to spearhead the efforts to reenact the charge. More than 100 uniformed horsemen rode in the event.
Whoa! March!
They had to get into Beersheva before the sun went down because the Turks were beginning to destroy the water wells.
It was important in geopolitical terms because it was the action that broke the back of the Ottoman Turkish Empire.
At the same time, a monumental decision was being made in Britain.
What's so amazing is that on the same day, at about the same time as this event took place, the members of the British War Cabinet were meeting in London and they voted for that great decision, which we now know as the Balfour Declaration, that the British government views would favour the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine.
Australians and New Zealanders are extremely proud of their role in Middle East history, like Australian Lance Corporal David Wood.
My great-grandfather was a member of the 1st Light Horse Regiment who held the back door open and stopped off the Turkish retreats.
It was his first trip to Israel, the country his great-grandfather Alfred had unknowingly fought for.
You feel proud and you feel a bit overwhelmed. To be around and to have been at the cemetery this morning and seen all the gravestones of my great-grandfather's mates is amazing and humbling.
Earlier in the day, those celebrating watched the Light Horseman parade down Beersheva's main street.
To be here at the place where the Australian victory occurred, and it was an incredibly gutsy effort, both men and horses.
It's all part of our national psyche.
I think it's another display of his awesomeness and how history is made with him in this scenario, and God being God and who he is and everything that he represents. Yeah, we get to be a part of it being Aussies.
Australia's Prime Minister summed up the part his countrymen had played.
They defied history, they made history, and with their courage, they fulfilled history.
Chris Mitchell, CBN News.
The best personal trainers in Boston coming up. We'll tell you more about it. Stay with us. In Boston alone, more than 50% of the city's shootings can be traced to just 1% of the young people who live there. So a few years ago, a team of trainers started convincing some of the violent offenders to put down their guns and pick up weights. Caitlin Burke is on the story.
Squeeze your ladder, Miss Dorsey. Good job. Keep your chest tall, stomach tight. Good job, breathe in.
Personal trainers here at Inner City Weightlifting are considered some of the best in Boston. Trained by world-class instructors, they're sought out by some of the city's top businessmen and women. For these guys, this career isn't the one they anticipated, but as we found out, it's a job that's saving their lives.
Just about all of the trainers here at Inner City Weightlifting have spent significant time behind bars. Now they have a way to get out of the cycle that kept putting them back in jail.
I've been in jail a few times. I've been arrested for a lot of things. The last time I did time was 2013. That was my last case for a firearm.
At the ripe young age of 31, Carlos Lemon has been shot, seen friends die, and been arrested for things he's done and things he hasn't. Lemon says the violence from his old life wasn't as much of a choice as it was survival.
Putting your gun on your hip is a part of your you know what I mean? It's a part of your what should I say, your outfit, you know what I mean? Like, and it's not like a person's waking up saying, you know, I'm gonna go out and shoot somebody, it's kill or be killed out there.
When it comes to getting off the streets, plenty of programs offer help, but not a real way out.
The streets is what we know, and it's just like, that's our job, that's our home, all in one, you know what I mean? So it's just like, we gotta get it how we get it, because everything else is not going to work out.
They have to worry about rent. They have to worry about food. They have to worry about clothes. There's no way, and they have to worry about that from as young of an age as they can understand those concepts.
That's John Feynman. On the surface, he shares little in common with someone like Lemon, but he has a passion for disrupting the system that Lemon says almost destroyed him. In 2010, Feynman started Inner City Weightlifting, or ICW. One early challenge, how to reconcile his dream of changing lives through weight training with the realities of life on the streets.
Me, being the little white guy from Amherst, Massachusetts that I am, thought that somehow weight training, we could get guys into the Olympics, we'd get them college athletic scholarships. And then we realized early on that most of the students we were working with had been shot. Nearly all had done significant jail time. They're coming from family incomes of less than $10,000 per year. The idea that somehow showing up at 3 o'clock to work out together, cool down, study for homework together, when most of our guys ended up being either expelled from school or dropped out for safety reasons, it was ridiculous. It would have actually excluded the very population of young people we were trying to work with.
Still, the ICW team moved forward, knowing they still had a lot to learn.
The only way to make this model work is to listen, and not to try to solve every problem or think that we have the solution, but instead just to respect the challenges that our students are going through, and most important, be there by their side.
By listening, they discovered ways to improve their program. First, they learned people wanted a true sense of community. Second, many people on the streets lack hope.
For most of our students, their 6-month outlook on life is death or jail, so we can't talk about an education or a career if they're not going to be around long enough to benefit from it.
This is where weight training makes a difference. Not only does it offer community, ICW provides a career track in personal training.
While it does create an income for our students, most important, what it started to do is bridge social capital. Not only is it creating a job, but it was creating this vast network for our students to be a part of, to lean on, to help solve for the challenge that they're facing day to day. And most important is giving people an opportunity to see our students for who they are as people, not a statistic on a piece of paper.
If you see me running from Kendall Square to here, and you're my client, or you're a client of somebody in my gym, you know that I'm running to the gym. I don't want you to see a kid that looks like me, he's running, you automatically think he's coming to rob you, he's running from the cops.
Don't give up now, you got it.
In 2016, nearly 400 ICW clients trained with a student trainer. While Sarah Downey originally came for the workout, She told us how her perception of the world changed as she got to know her trainer.
It really is a win-win because I'm coming here and I'm getting an amazing workout and my trainer is awesome, but you know, they're getting this entire new career in this entry point into this, you know, world that is a lot safer and a lot more accommodating than any of them have been used to. So it really, it is a life-changing workout.
That moved Sarah to use her network to bring her trainer other clients and provide him with odd jobs to make extra cash.
I've hired Eric to come do group workouts with our portfolio companies, and then they've continued to use them, do corporate training.
As communities and networks become inclusive, opportunities become endless. Caitlin Burke, CBN News, Boston, Massachusetts.
We're sitting down with half of the duo Mary Mary. Tina Campbell next. Tina Campbell, one half of the Mary Mary duo, has found herself on the receiving end of some harsh criticism for who she chose to support for president in the last election. Take a look.
What I said is, if during your campaign what you said appealed to me and it appealed to my Christian values more than the other candidate, then when it comes down to it, I chose based on my faith. I didn't really like either one of the candidates, if I could just be honest. But it was two people that had a chance of winning, and so I voted based on my faith. Do I agree with everything that's being done and being said? No. Do I promote and advocate any of that? No. And do I choose to give any more of my time to anybody who has an opinion about my right to vote and to who I vote for and what behind it? Not at all. So what's the next question?
Okay. And headlines like the one you're about to see here suggest Tina is taking a hard hit after supporting Donald Trump. It points out that she, on her Instagram page as well, that she's had to postpone her It's Still Personal tour only weeks after starting it because of low ticket sales. Now, with all of that, Tina is still pushing ahead with new music, and she's sitting down with us for this week's Studio 5 interview. Now, the new project is called It's Still Personal.
Yes.
So is it still personal?
Man, let me tell you something. The relationship with God, man, I'm so God-possessed, it ain't even funny. I mean, it's so funny that I was like the face of gospel with my sister, with Mary Mary, for countless years. And the truth is, my relationship with God was not as personal as it is now. Now, all of us grow in time. You know, you mature, you become more, you just become more aware. And you just become more about what you're about, or you should at least.
Yeah.
We should be growing up and not down with age, right? I didn't realize how good God was. I didn't realize that not only can He will.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that His love is better than any love I can get from my husband or anybody. I didn't realize that favor with Him is better than being in any kind of relationship with this corporation or this person. The blessings of the Lord that make rich is way better than what stats and Grammys and record sales will ever afford me. I did not fully understand that God is the win. That He ain't the means to the end. He the means and the end. Jesus is the every single thing, and I had to be in a pit to find that out. So my pit was my place of opportunity for me to find God. So it's ridiculously personal. It's gonna stay personal until I breathe my last breath.
I love it. I mean, it's biblical too. We've seen so many folks in the Bible in pits, in caves, you name it, that they had to come out of.
And sometimes we won't completely depend on God. You see, if we got a B plan or a C plan, we'll choose it, right?
Absolutely.
Because faith is a little harder. You can't see what God's gonna do. I can see the B plan and C plan, so I'm gonna choose that. Thank God, I couldn't see my way. So all I could see was Jesus. So I chose the A plan. I'm stuck with it for the rest of my life.
Let's stay with it. One of the things I really love about you, I've always loved Mary Mary and loved both you and your sister, but I felt like I fell in love with you more when you were so transparent about everything you were going through.
I thought we had a good life just like everybody else watching. I thought we was the ideal relationship just like everybody else. And I got to find out in front of the whole goddamn world that all of my life was a lie. And you want me to quote scriptures right now?
I don't want you to quote
You want me to
scriptures.
say what I don't, you want me to say something that's all positive? I feel negative right now.
I know that.
I just want you to understand that.
I know that.
I never kissed another man. I never went out with another man. I never entertained the wrong conversation. I never cheated in my head. I never did anything. I was 190% committed to that man. And this is what you did every time I was gone. You stole my life life away from me. I'm angry. Why you gotta do me like this? I was good to you, man. I was good to you. I was good to you. I don't want him. I don't want him. I don't want him. I don't want him. He don't deserve me.
How important is it for people like yourself, people like us, to not hide our testimony?
Well, I can't tell anybody how they're supposed to go through their struggle. For me, I'm not being hostage to nothing. If I could just be honest, at that point I was like, I don't like not being in control of situations. So the whole idea, what if they find out what I said? I'm not living my life in fear. Like, so I don't know if it was losing control or taking control. I don't know what it is. I know the Holy Spirit must have inspired that, because I didn't know it was going to get worse before it got better. Wow. And if I knew how bad it was going to get, I probably would have withheld it. I would have just probably like, let me get over some of it. Let me work through it. But I didn't want to be hostage. I was like, what if they find out what? No, just tell everybody. Just be very embarrassed, be humiliated, be ashamed, be broken, whatever it is. Throw it out there and either die in it or get over it and live well. I was just like, we ain't no in between. Yeah. This is what we gonna do. And so I threw it out there and I said to God, I was like, I don't know, maybe while I'm sharing it, maybe I could help some other woman that's out there going through it, and maybe just all the other people that's going through this, maybe they can help me, I can help them out, so I'm gonna just tell it. It literally, it happened in a moment like that. I was like, I don't wanna be hostage. I don't wanna be scared, so maybe if I share it. I just said that one day. That's exactly what happened. I've been helping people ever since, just because I exposed my busted life, that God had a plan to turn around for my good.
But it's too hard to hold on to all of the pain, and it's too hard to relive it over and over again. It's too hard when the memories have control over you. Some say it's too hard to forgive. I say it's too hard not to.
It's too hard not to. Where did that song come from?
I was actually commissioned to write a song for a movie soundtrack. And the song that I wrote, which was this song, it ended up not getting used for the movie. And in that particular movie, there was a guy who was dealing with, countless years later, the demons of his past. And so I asked the Holy Spirit to give me a song, and that's the song that I wrote. And when the song was not used for the movie, I said, God wanted me to convey this message because this is the story of my life. Wow. I realized that it was too hard not to forgive.
It is too hard not to forgive. We'll let you know when Tina gets back on tour. Stay with us. It is time now for your Faithful Friday, and today I leave you with these simple 3 words over and over again. God is faithful. As you wrap the week and begin the weekend, keep saying that and reminding yourself, God is faithful because He is. He is faithful even when we aren't. Those very words are sure to make this a fabulous Friday and a wonderful weekend. That is going to do it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. Remember, you can always find the issues and stories you care most about at cbnnews.com. We'd also love to hear from you. You can email us, newswatch@cbn.com. And also, of course, you can always reach us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Have a fabulous Friday and a wonderful weekend. We'll see you right back here come Monday.